common roadblock that solopreneurs and small business owners face is not getting the desired growth or scale in their business. And one of the main reasons for that is too many of them are working in the business rather than working on it. So in today's episode, we look why that is and what is it that you need to shift in order to bring in the results and revenue. Fall in love with selling as you acquire the right mindset, selling style, and sales process that can help you get more sales, scale, and sustainability in your business. If you are a business owner who's looking to grow her business to her next level, you have come to the right place. I'm Roshni Baronia, your host for the show Ace the Sales, which is all about helping you bring your true and complete self to every sales conversation. Today's episode is very special, not only because it is going to shake you up to the core and shift the way you work in your business and see yourself in the business, but also because I am joined as a co-host for this special episode by my fellow podcaster, Bharti Naik. Bharti is an NLP trainer and has traveled cities across the world conducting trainings and seminars. She is a relations strategist. She is the co-founder of the company Inspire Human Potential Private Limited. She has helped over 60,000 people in transforming their lives in the last 16 years. She works with individuals to bring personal transformation in mindset and communication that would help them with performance efficiency and development. She's an award-winning professional speaker and has been invited to many forums, corporate, academic institutes, and management associations. So, Bharti, what is it that we are going to talk about today?
That's, I must say, it's a very, very interesting topic, and it is something to be really looked into it of how we can look at this depend on how do you see yourself as the CEO in your business. We do have name tags that CEO, I'm a CEO of a company, or I'm a managing director of a company, or I'm running this business, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm the owner of the company. But the fact is, are we really looking at about the identity? How do you see yourself when you say that I'm a CEO of a company? So it's a very, very interesting and insightful talk that we will have. I'm really excited
Yeah.
to know about your experience, about your stories, and also share something that what I have understood and learned in my career.
That actually is such a relevant topic that it's not just the label or the designation or the title of CEO that one needs to have. Even a solopreneur or a small business owner who is managing a small team of 3 to 4 people also needs to feel and think like a CEO. So, what we are talking about today is actually the mindset part of the CEO, how you identify yourself as a CEO, irrespective of whether you put that label or the designation in your business card or the LinkedIn profile. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true, Roshni. And this reminds me of one of the CEOs where I met that person, and I
Mhm.
also gave my consultation.
Okay.
And when I was talking to the CEO of a company, I realized he, of course, told me about the problems, the issues, and basically he wanted to scale up his business.
Okay.
And he had a small team.
Mhm.
So while he was sharing all the situations, sharing all the issues and the way forward, what I realized that his words that he was narrating, his body language, everything had a very different mindset, a very different bent of mind towards a particular thing, and that was he was very inclined towards IT systems. And obviously, because the company was an IT company, and he's been an IT person throughout, and started his entrepreneur journey. So everything from systems to process, everything was automated. Even the biometrics that we have inside the office, everything was automated, and it was to the T. And I really loved about that part.
Right.
What I was really amazed to understand that because he has a background of IT, and he is so inclined towards the IT systems and automations, that he couldn't think or see himself as a CEO and wear the hat of a CEO and actually act as a CEO.
Yeah.
And that kept me thinking of what is it that is actually missing. And there are so many such stories which I'll be sharing that actually helped me understand that it's more about the identity, that he is still a person who is inclined towards systems and processes, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But as a CEO, your mindset needs to be changed, and your vision becomes broadened, your horizon becomes a little more than what you are in the previous past. So that's what I realized it.
That is just such a profound thought. So just elaborate a little bit more into this, Bharti. Like, what do you exactly mean by identify yourself as a CEO? Does this happen that when people acquire that designation of CEO, if they are a hired CEO, that it takes time for them to get into their role? Or if we are talking about a business owner, a small business owner, they are if effectively not seeing themselves as CEO because they think my enterprise or business is too small to take on such a heavy loaded designation. So what do you actually mean by the identity of a CEO?
So what do I mean by identity is when you what is it that you see yourself? What is the image that you have about yourself in your mind? Do you really associate yourself when you say that I am a CEO of a company? Or is it just the name tag or a business card? Or you are still the same IT person or an engineer or somebody else, and you have just become an entrepreneur. It is very important for people who start their entrepreneur journey or who are solopreneurs who have their own businesses to shift that identity in their heads. When they look at themselves, what is the image they get? Is it a CEO of a company? Do they walk and talk like a CEO? Or they are still the same, just the name or the title has been changed? That's what it means by identity.
Yeah, right. That is so important. In fact, I am so much connected to this entire community of solopreneurs and small business owners, and I see so many of them. They are just consumed by so much of admin and operational and day-to-day work in their business that they lose the sight of what is going to bring them more money or take their business to the next level, because essentially
Right.
they are working as an employee or a manager in their business. So either being short on resources, they are doing all the stuff themselves, or they even have if they have the small team, they are managing everything by themselves and still are not able to have that strategic mindset and the perspective and the CEO level work they are not doing at a regular basis.
That's right. And you have really caught the pulse. Absolutely correct. Because a lot of people who start their entrepreneur journey or who are in that business,
Mhm.
they actually behave like an employee or a manager or an operations person
Yeah.
or even a manufacturing person. Like, I have to manufacture, I have to produce, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Yeah.
But we fail to realize that when we say that we are a CEO of a company,
Mm-hmm.
we are actually in our mind if we change that image of ourselves, if we look at their identity and behave like a CEO,
Mm-hmm.
everything changes, right? From our beliefs, our values, our skills, capabilities, our behavior, our actions, everything would change because the identity in our head changed.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
Like,
And like you mentioned, belief. So yeah, I think there are lot many people who have one of these very limiting beliefs that I don't have enough time. They think that they don't
mm,
have enough time to do lot of things or do the planning or just sit and think about what's going to happen in their business next. Because what I feel is
mm,
one will never find the time. You always have to schedule it. So you have to block out
right.
time for things that are strategic and growth oriented and revenue focused in your business. And lot of entrepreneurs are not doing that because they are not in that mind frame of looking ahead in their business. So yeah, just giving the excuse of not having enough time is one thing which the CEO mindset person has to let go of, isn't it?
That's true, Roshni. That when we say that we don't have enough time, that means we have not given importance to that particular thing or not prioritized it. And as a CEO of a company, as an entrepreneur, when we wear a hat, we look at certain things which are important, and they are important. We have to do it. We must do it.
Yeah.
There is, there has to be a time for everything.
Mm.
So what only thing requires, as you rightly mentioned, is scheduling it. You
Mhm.
just schedule it, strategize it, plan it, and execute it.
Right.
And it makes the job of an entrepreneur very, very easy.
Mm.
There's nothing rocket science in this.
True.
I'll give you my own example. When I started my entrepreneur journey a
Mm.
few years back, uh, when I would go and introduce myself to the clients, to the business owners,
Mhm.
I would call myself as a freelance trainer or a consultant or a corporate trainer.
Mhm.
And every time I would go and have a very good meeting, I would be satisfied with the meeting, with the relationships, with everything. But when I come back home, I would always feel that something is missing, something did not click well.
Okay.
All I would go there and say that, okay, I'm a trainer, give me some assignments, I can help you, give me some projects. I would get a good business, but not how I was looking at it. And
Mhm.
little later, I realized that the way I was projecting myself, the way I was perceiving myself as an individual was of a trainer, consultant, or a freelancer. The
Right.
day I shifted and I changed my identity in my head first, and I said, well, I am a CEO of a company. I'm a director of a private limited company. Let me behave like a director.
Mhm.
And when I'm going and meeting my client, I'm meeting an HR head or an HR manager or a business owner, whomsoever the person is, they are the employees and I'm the director of a company. So
Mhm.
let me behave it this way. So the moment I perceived myself as a director or a CEO of a company and I would go in the meetings, my entire physiology would change. My words would change, my language started changing, and I presented myself very confidently and chin up, looking into their eyes and say, well, I'm a director of a company. This is what I work, and this is what has all my testimonials. And I would show my credentials, and I started getting a lot of businesses.
Mhm.
And
Right.
when I would come back home, I realized that what I wanted to shift was the identity in my head. That's it. I already had businesses, I already had connections, I already had clients. All I had to do was project myself as a CEO, behave like one, and I would get business. And
Mm.
that made a huge difference in my business.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually like how you start seeing yourself in your business, and that's the way
Right.
people will start mirroring you. So it's about you leading yourself, irrespective of whether you are working alone or having a team of 200 plus people, or but it's all about how you are leading yourself.
Exactly.
Wow, wow. And another thing I strongly feel, Bharti, that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of entrepreneurs come across is that they tend to do everything in their business themselves. And
Ah.
of course, like it is small little things like uh, designing of the graphics on Canva because it is so easy to do, or just having the mindset that I am
Mm-hmm.
the best person to do is this, no one else can do it, or this is the way I
Hmm.
like to do have it, so it is best that I do it myself. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, we came to the time factor, that time is wasted in minutes, not in hours. So if we cumulatively see how much time you are spending in these small little activities or small little admin tasks, which can easily
Mm-hmm.
be outsourced, because you have to, after all, look into what kind of uh, revenue generating work you are doing. So your hourly uh, price or the value you can bring to any project or work in that 1 hour is make going to make a huge difference in the business for others, for your clients, for your customers, and your probably the sales and marketing efforts also. So if you are optimizing the tasks that you are spending your time in and your energy in, I think that will shift a lot in the way the CEO mindset is acquired by people.
That's absolutely true, Roshni. A lot of entrepreneurs, CEOs, they either don't trust their people,
Mm,
or they think that they know it much better and they are the best in this, and they don't delegate.
true.
And I always tell people that delegation equals to growth. Delegation is not snatching your power, but it is delegation is equal to growth, because if you delegate some part or some task of your stuff to somebody else, obviously they will grow in their skills. You will grow because you have a lot of time to do something else, focus on some other strategic things, and expand your business. So you will have a lot of time to focus on expansion, on strategies, rather than doing these operationals or all these small tasks. You can always delegate this, but trust is the main thing. You're
Hmm.
you're absolutely right.
True, true. And another thing that I feel a lot of people are doing is, which is actually hindering them from becoming the CEO in their business, is that they think that they already know enough. I mean, having a
Hmm.
fixed mindset is the biggest disservice one can do to themselves. Like, it can be the most restrictive thing for someone, irrespective of what stage of your life or business or career you are in. But you have to be open to ideas, learning, and knowledge, because I believe that is one of the key factors to bring in the growth. So if you are at the helm of a business, I think it's very important for you, as the leader at the top, to be open to new ideas. What's your take on that?
That's that's very true, because the with new ideas you have new cells in your neurons, and they will start working, and with new ideas new doors will be open up. But
Mm,
if you go with a fixed mindset, that means you are in a box. You are
right.
not looking anywhere else. Whereas the whole world would have gone far, but you will still be in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely right. Being open to the ideas, to new things, learning new things, acquiring knowledge is the key to growth. And what you said is absolutely correct. I remember I was consulting a few CEOs in my career,
Mm-hmm.
and the very three distinctive CEOs I can give you some uh, insights about it. So I met one CEO from an IT company. He's a CEO of an IT company.
Okay.
Another CEO is a CEO of a manufacturing company. So they have a manufacturing plant in the outskirts of Baroda.
Mm-hmm.
And the third person I met is a CEO of a food beverages. So they manufacture fruit beverages, and they have a manufacturing plant again in the outskirts. And I met these CEOs, of course, in a different period of time, but for majorly for their growth mindset, for understanding the businesses, if they are missing something, and how they can take this to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
What I realized when I met the IT, the CEO of an IT company, uh, what I noticed it was very amusing for me because the entire company were thorough with the systems, processes, everything was automated, and the IT, the person, the CEO was very proud of all these things. And it was very good to see that operations are all automated and they are all up to the date with the softwares and everything. What I realized that they were lacking in the sales, the marketing part, because the focus of a CEO was so much on the systems, on processes, on the automation, that they miss out the sales part or the client relations part.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where their struggle was. The second person whom I met was a CEO of a manufacturing company, the engineering company.
Mm-hmm.
And this person has a background because he's an engineer and comes with a background of quality control, quality assurance. So the entire company was ISO certified. His staff has been trained on quality assurance. They have been certified under QC. The SOPs are perfectly done. Even the layout in the manufacturing unit has been absolutely perfect. And he was very much behind people to have Lean Six Sigma, follow 6S, Kaizen, all these quality parameters, everything. What I again realize that what he is missing is the people management, because his focus is so much on the quality aspect, focus is so much on the processes and banging on the quality part. He was missing on the people management, he was missing again on the client relations, and most important, missing on the sales part. He would always have delays in the sending proposals, delays in meeting with their clients or approaching them, follow ups. He would miss those part. It was a major lacking in his business.
Mm-hmm.
And the third CEO I met, who has a manufacturing plant for fruit beverages, what I realized that even though he had no such background of IT or engineering or quality for that matter, but he only knew one thing. Okay, I have this product. What should I do to sell this? How can I sell this? How can I get more business? How can I sell this in the market and get revenue? So his focus was so much on the sales, on the marketing part, that his business was was growing in multifold, and he really had a fantastic turnover where
Mm-hmm.
he was lacking in some other areas. But what I realized was all these CEOs had a very fixed mindset of how they see themselves in their head first. The
Right.
IT person would see himself as an IT guy who only focuses on systems. The engineer, the CEO of a manufacturing plant would only focus on the engineering side or the quality aspect of it, because he himself had this mindset that in my head, I'm the engineer first, then a CEO. I'm an IT guy first, then a CEO. Whereas the other person, I'm a sales guy first and then a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
So all the three, they had a different identity in their head, but not of a CEO. Hence, they were missing out, they were lacking in some areas, and they needed some support, some guidance. And that's why the mindset of having an identity, that do you see yourself as a CEO? Do you behave yourself as a CEO? That's more important.
So, what do you think, Bharti? What should be on the priority list for a CEO?
Well, I must say that, Roshni, you have worked a lot with the business owners and solopreneurs. Uh, I threw up this question to you. What do you think should be on priority list for a CEO?
What I strongly believe is that the purpose of any business is not to drive you into a burnout. You have to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the process. And for that, one of the key things that any CEO or any person who is willing to acquire that CEO mindset should have is to have a very strategic and focused approach towards whatever is important and relevant in their business, which is going to take it forward. Like you rightly gave the example of the person who was having that sales mindset, who was oriented towards the business growth, and that's what helps the business to take it to the next level. In fact, I have a very simple system in my business also, which I also regularly follow, that helps me
Mm-hmm.
on that CEO hat on myself. Very
And what is that?
so
Uh-huh.
first thing is the CEO date. Now, the CEO date
Oh.
is something which is when you sit with yourself to look at your goals, your monthly milestones, and plan out your entire week. So, it is a weekly activity that where you think about the major things you are looking to achieve in that particular week. And this could be anything related to your sales activities, like meeting 5 new prospects or connecting with your existing clients, whatever it is. But make sure that you block out 45 minutes to 1 hour max at the start of the week. So, like I do it Monday morning, some people do it Sunday afternoon, some people prefer doing it Friday evening so that they are sorted for the coming week. But whatever suits you, whatever is comfortable for you, but important is that you put this time aside, this block of time aside, to think about what you are going to achieve in this week. So every week you are able to move forward aligned to your goals and targets.
That's a very interesting one, huh?
Yeah.
Having a CEO date and looking at your targets and reviewing it like a CEO. Wow.
Yes.
And
And
what is the second step?
yeah, so the second step in this system is the CEO debriefs. Now, this is
Uh-huh.
something which I have actually learned from leadership coach Tara Newman, and she talks a lot about CEO debriefs, which is like, and this is a very powerful tool. Which is mostly overlooked by small business owners and solopreneurs because they are so much juggling into their everyday operations that they forget to sit down and reflect on what is it that they have achieved so far. So CEO debrief is a moment where you sit with yourself to see how have you achieved your goal or targets, whether it was a very stretched goal or was it with ease. So there's a difference between ease and easy. Easy, I'm not saying set very easy goals, but are you achieving them with ease? Ask yourself the questions: what were the wins that I created? Was I pressed for time or did I enjoy myself? So,
Okay.
of course, this is a little different from the reviews that you do for your sales, marketing, and operations. This is about a review and reflection about how you performed as the CEO. So, you question yourself
Mm-hmm.
in that. And along with that, what I always feel is sometimes we get too hard on ourselves. If we are not
Right.
achieving a goal or a target, or if we've missed getting some results, it's okay. Don't be too harsh. And also,
Mm.
these moments, during debriefs, take the moment to appreciate and acknowledge yourselves also for the efforts you have made. So this kind of a
Right.
reflection and review, I think, is very important. And this I do it on a monthly basis. So like CEO date is weekly, CEO debrief is a monthly activity that I do, and it works beautifully because it is like questioning yourself and observing yourself from a third person's eye as to how I am performing in my business.
But that's really interesting. See your debrief. So the question that you asked, that are you at ease when you are in this process.
Hmm.
And I think as a CEO of a company, it's very, very important to enjoy the whole process,
Yeah,
the journey of this.
because every time there will be so much of things to you, and if you have a team, all the more everyone will be running to you for every other approval. So keeping that cool of mind and having things sorted out with ease is very, very important for you to have a calm composure while running your business.
Hmm. That's true, yeah. That's absolutely true. Wow. And what is the third step or a third part of the system?
Yes. And the third part is the most interesting one, which is the most
Mm-hmm.
fun part, and this is the CEO days. This is the part where you get to have for yourself those creative and intellectual stimulations where you are able to look at the bigger picture. You are planned for the bigger stuff in your business. So, strategizing for a longer period of time. This is when actually you sit down to work on probably a new offer or a new training program or a new book, or how you are going to get x number of clients in the next quarter, so how you are going to achieve your quarterly sales goals. So this is the part where you are strategizing. And I also suggest and reinforce the fact that you all should always do this activity by going out of your work. So most of us are very comfortable working from home. Of course, during this time in corona times, everyone is doing work from home. I too also work from home. I have a home office, but I always
Mm-hmm.
suggest, and I do it for myself also, while doing these CEO days, I move out of the house and do it at a very luxurious and a good hotel kind of a thing where I can pamper myself, because I feel these luxurious and big things and this environment helps you think big. So you cannot think about high goals sitting on your uh, couch or a kitchen table. So you have to create the right environment. Sometimes I go to a very swanky co-working space, or sometimes I even go to outdoors cafeterias. And the best thing is it will be all possible if you are able to do this CEO day with business besties. So a group of 3 to 4 female founders or your business buddies get together, and everyone is strategizing on what they are trying to achieve in the next 30, 60, 90. So that is a very strategic planning that you do for your business in the CEO day. So that is like a quarterly activity you have to do for your business.
Wow, that's so interesting that I can have my CEO date, I can have CEO debrief and CEO briefs and the CEO days.
Yes.
And actually, very rightly, you mentioned, Roshni, that uh, taking a break from the environment and changing your environment and putting yourself into a very different kind of a setup where you can actually re energize, you can look at the bigger picture, you can strategize, plan for bigger stuff. It is so, so important for the business.
Yes, yes.
Amazing, yeah. This really amazing.
I really love the phrase coined by Satya Nadella, hit refresh.
Hmm.
That he titled his book
Wow.
by this hit refresh. And I think this weekly, monthly, quarterly activity, this time that you allocate for yourself to strategize and plan in for your business is the place where you hit refresh and you are actually working on your business. It's not in your business,
Hmm.
but you are working on your business, and that's what is needed to have the CEO mindset.
Interesting. Really, really interesting. And I'm sure the listeners who would listen to our talk will have a lot of insights about the mindset of a CEO, and they can shift their mindset and they start seeing themselves as a CEO.
Yeah.
And with your three steps, it will be like amazing for them to actually be into the CEO mode.
Yeah. So in fact, so three things that they absolutely have to stop doing. It's like,
Yeah.
stop making excuses that you don't have time. You always have to block your time for your CEO dates, CEO debriefs, and CEO days. You have to block your time well ahead, and don't try to do everything in your business by yourself. And just don't think that you know enough. There is so much information and so much knowledge and so many good people to learn from. So just stay
Yeah.
open and uh, be willing to learn from everyone and anywhere. And yeah, that's what it's all about. So it was wonderful having this conversation with you, Bharti. I really enjoyed it very much, and I hope the listeners too had some valuable takeaways. And we would in fact love to hear those takeaways. And it would be nice if you can share it on our Instagram handles, which is Roshni_Baronia. And for Bharti, it is Bharti. Can you share your handle?
Yeah, it is Bharti Naik, Naik. So you can check the Instagram there.
Right. So for me, Instagram is the best way to connect. And Bharti,
Mm-hmm.
what is the best way that people can connect to you?
So you can connect me on Instagram. You can look for Bharti Naik, or Facebook, same Bharti Naik, or even LinkedIn. I'm very active on these platforms. You can just type Bharti Naik and I'll be there.
Right. Okay. So this is Bharti and myself signing off. Thank you so much, Bharti. See you again.
Thank you so much, Roshni. Yep. See you again.
Bye.